Welcome to Vaughn Brown Consort Bureaus. This is a place of enlightenment, encouragement, and empowerment. I believe this is the place for you. Welcome.
Hello, this is Mandy Mandate with Consort World News. One of our primary objectives, in addition to gaining insight into prior or existing initiatives, is to enable reflection and assist in identification of future change that will positively affect humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Mandy Mandate with Consort World News. Thank you for watching VBTV.
Welcome to VBTV.
The latest phenomenal literature of the Life Source series, entitled Compassion, Making Good Happen, is completely transforming. The book is scripted by author and life empowerment speaker, Vaughn Brown. The novel makes use of an acronym to define compassion as a caring objective mission, providing assistance serving someone insufficient of need. The book features 10 chapters containing vast resources that enlighten on the virtue of compassionate love. This inspired literature reveals compassion as the character of good culture and charity. Furthermore, it shows how love demonstrates intellective power to create global competency. Get your copy now at vaughnbrown.com and compassionexchange.org.
You're watching VBTV. Stay tuned for today's Infopowerment.
Welcome to a new season of life and hope, fulfillment of your expectations. There's a story that is told by a priest who lived in a village who told his flock on a Sunday of the drought from the last winter that has threatened the crop of the entire village. The only thing that can save us now, he said, is a special petition for rain. Go to your homes, he told his followers, fast during the week. Believe and come on Sunday for the manifestation of rain. Ladies and gentlemen, the villagers fasted during the week and went to church on Sunday morning. But as soon as the priest saw them, he was furious and shouted, "Go away, all of you," he said. "I will not pray for rain because you do not believe." The people shouted, "But Father, priest, Master, we fasted and we believed." The priest said, "Believe? Then where are your umbrellas?" It's about what your expectations are for the season that you are believing for, or the season that you're abiding in. Seasons is a word that defines the main periods into which a year can be divided, in which each have their own typical weather conditions, naturally speaking. Period of the year marked by certain conditions and activities for an event. It is a suitable, it is appropriate, it is a fitting or right time, according to what is defined by the lexicon. Let me ask you this question. What are your expectations this season? What is your hope for this season? Here is a word of wisdom or food for thought for you today. Hope is the foreseen reality of greater beyond the present. Let me say that again. Hope is the foreseen reality of greater beyond the present. You can have what is hoped for because you believe. Your faith is a conviction. Then your hope is therefore the beginning of your faith that will cause you to come into the season of an expected event for your life. Figuratively speaking, season connotes having the sense of a set or fixed time. It relates to that which time gives opportunity to do. Let me say it again. It relates to that which time gives opportunity to do and constitutes, in other words, time, place, and order. Again, time, place, and order. In the wisdom of Solomon, there is a right time for everything, and everything on earth will happen at the right time. That's the wisdom of Solomon speaking in chapter 3 of Ecclesiastes. There is a right time for everything. And another interpretation says, to everything there's a season, there's a purpose for everything under the sun. Everything on earth will happen at the right time. Time is ascribed, therefore, to God, humanly speaking, but is to be understood divinely of his absolute eternity. Sometimes the description of God's eternity is taken from the names and differences of seasons, as years are ascribed unto God, which nevertheless are said to be throughout all generations, as David declared, and shall have no end, that he is the same, and that his years shall not fail. The years, the seasons, the time, as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest time will not cease. Time illustrates things done or is put in time. Let me say it again for your life. You need to understand this. Time illustrates things done or is put in time. I remember in the book of Esther, is declared in verse 1 and 13, then the king said to the wise men which knew the times, that is, who knew past transactions which happened in the respective times, or who knew how prudently to manage and act all things in season. You need to be prepared, in other words, for the season that is approaching for your life. There must not only be hope, but the expectations of your hope must give you a strong conviction that it will come to pass, whatever it is. It may be a new job, it may be success, it may be for new love, it may be for family blessings, whatever it may be. The vision for your life, the dream within you, you must have an expectations because it is appointed for a season. And Job declares in the 11th chapter in verse 17 that thy time shall arise above the noonday. The Hebrew primitive definition of that interprets thy meridian prosperity shall be clearer than the light, or you shall be made most illustrious. In other words, you will illuminate in this season. In other words, you shall come to light or life in the season. How? Through the gifts or the appointed assignment of your destiny. This is the time of light, the season of fulfillment, the season for you to illuminate or arise and shine. The saved in the scriptures are called the children of light. Every person that believes, every person created by God that are sons and children of God, they are interpreted as children of light. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. I'll say it again, your light ought to shine. You must become that light in the dark places and the dark seasons. You must illuminate where there is hate. You must illuminate as a light of love. Where there is darkness, you must illuminate as a light of positivity, a light that illuminates, speaking of that which is good and that which is purpose to raise someone up from their darkness. I believe this is the season you will become an appointed light and reveal to the world the glory of the Lord that is assigned upon your life. This is the season of a divine illumination, a divine illuminating. God shall glorify you in this time in the world, and it shall be a glory the world has not seen or experienced before. King David declares, my times are in thine hands, meaning my life, my health, and the entire holistic state of my life, for whatsoever changes comes. It is because you have governed me by your divine providence. What a wonderful thing it is to know that the providence of God is over you. The providence of God is guiding and leading you to a new light in your life. Life is the valued purpose, therefore, of human existence. You have a responsibility to believe for a positive outcome in life. For the hope that I have is to give you an expected end that God defines. Hope is unspoken silence of the soul's expectations. Let me say that again. Hope is unspoken silence of your soul's expectations. The character of courage is competence, transformed as a quality of beneficial merit for the faith function of attainable expectations for your life. The mystery of a concealed seed, in other words, is the miracle of the harvest it produces. You are the seed of Christ in this world, and therefore you have a purpose and a personal responsibility to produce what God has seeded within you. Your talents, your gifts, the blessings, whatever it is that you have been assigned to do. This is the season you shall arise and shine and reveal the glory of the Lord in the fullness of this time. I encourage you today, know that you are just a seed with a harvest that is concealed, waiting to come forth. The gifts within you, the purpose of your life, shall cause you to bring forth a divine manifestation of good in the earth. You shall radiate and illuminate a revealed glory humanity has never seen, known, or experienced before, only by the power of the Spirit of God. Get ready. This is your season of success in life.
Ladies and gentlemen, hope is the foreseen reality of greater beyond the present. What is your hope for this season? Whatever you hope becomes the reality of fulfillment in your life. I encourage you to hope for good in this season. Hi, this is Grace Brown, reminding you that love is the rewarding affection of compassionate action. It's time to make good happen in someone's life today. Join us now at compassionexchange.org.
Coming to you from the ever gorgeous city of Paris, this is Mandy Mando for Concert World News on VBTV. You're watching VBTV!
Please join me now in the Compassion's Pledge of Allegiance. My heart is an incorruptible beauty of love. It is benevolent and pure. Today, I am compassionately motivated and my intentions are good. And the gift of love within my heart to give, I share it with others while consistently loving myself. This is the Compassion's Pledge of Allegiance. I encourage you now to reach out and touch someone with love.
The latest phenomenal literature of the Life Source series, entitled Compassion, Making Good Happen, is completely transforming. The book is scripted by author and life empowerment speaker, Vaughn Brown. The novel makes use of an acronym to define compassion as a caring objective mission, providing assistance, serving someone insufficient of need. The book features 10 chapters containing vast resources that enlighten on the virtue of compassionate love. This inspired literature reveals compassion as the character of good culture and charity. Furthermore, it shows how love demonstrates intellective power to create global competency. Get your copy now at vaughnbrown.com and compassionexchange.org.
VBTV, here for you. No, 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 no. Here for you.
VBTV,
Here for you.
VBTV.